Welcome to Rub the Wrong Way, a podcast for massage professionals. Each week, we undrape the taboo topics of massage therapy life, go deep on industry issues, and help you discover practice-building tips and tricks from industry experts. Grab your laundry basket and join your host, Christy Melling, as we strip down, bare all, and help you get rubbed the right way.
Hey guys, Christy from Rub the Wrong Way here. I'm super excited to have you guys listen to our interview today with Sheree and Danielle from Mystro Health and Healthinomics. And I'm super pumped. Listen all the way to the end so that you get your free code to get some great discounts off some of the Healthinomics bundle packs that you can download for your social media. So Healthinomics takes care of a whole bunch of social media headaches for you. It helps you schedule all your social media posts, gives you some beautiful images, lovely quotes so that you can get everything automated so that you don't have to stress out about your social media. And Sheree and Danielle have really generously provided Rubbed the Wrong Way listeners with a special code. So tune in and listen all the way to the end so that you can get your special code for your Healthinomics bundle packs. So, welcome Sheree and Danielle from Mystro Health. Welcome to the Rub the Wrong Way podcast. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, it's great to be here and having a chat with you.
Excellent. So, let's start out. Sheree, I know you're a massage therapist,
Yes.
and I know that you are running a couple of other businesses that you've launched from here. But tell me a little bit about you. Tell me about how you got started in the massage industry, and what's that story? What's the Sheree story?
Okay, so basically for me, it started about 7 years ago or 7.5 years ago now, including my training, I guess. And before that, I was actually working at SeaWorld. I loved working with animals and taking care of animals. However, the pay wasn't obviously as great. You're there for the love, which is pretty much why a lot of health professionals, they love being self-employed, but they're also there because they genuinely want to help people. I genuinely love the aspect of helping, whether it's animals or in the health space. However, I really found the intriguing part was the anatomy. So I tried to then think, okay, well, I'd like to become self-employed and get out on my own. So maybe the anatomy of humans would actually be as intriguing as it would be for animals, and turns out it was. So from there, it pretty much allowed me to explore my options. And I didn't really know in what aspect exploring anatomy would actually take me, but massage was something that appealed. So I started and enrolled into a massage course, starting out doing Cert 4 with the Q Academy here on the Gold Coast, and then also went on and continued through to doing my remedial therapy course as well. So I did an advanced course with all of those, and within 6 months I had all my qualifications and ready to jump into healing and using my skills. So I guess 7 years ago, a lot of the technology that is around us right now wasn't available, and to find where you can get customers from and websites. I mean, it was pretty much Dreamweaver stuff back then. It's there wasn't a Wix or Weebly, or I think even the whole concept of WordPress was still very young, or even if it wasn't even around at all,
Yeah.
Danielle. So it really was, you had to I guess, hustle a lot more. And it did take a lot more energy and a lot more funds to even get yourself somewhere. So first demo, basically it was just a outline of a website that came in a form of a template that even required a certain level of coding, which Danielle did do up for me back in the day. And you look at it, and even at that point it was, oh, it's fantastic. You look at it now and you're like, oh, really? Yeah, maybe, but at the time it was the bee's knees. Let's just put it that way. And obviously, as you grow your business, technology grows as well. So you start coming on board with what's happening. But I guess the biggest struggle for myself growing my business after leaving my my course was just the growth of customers. You know, how do I get a steady flow of customers? How do I nurture that relationship? I've never done this before. I can go and learn from somebody else, and potentially I didn't think like this, but I think of it now. I pick up on their bad habits, so to speak, or I could actually learn a lot more. I probably would have learned a lot more in terms of muscles or treating customers from I say medical, but like
so from like a treatment standpoint.
Yeah, exactly. But not necessarily from a business perspective, because even still people that run businesses now, they really, people don't have an idea, which is why business and learning how to run a business so effectively is a top market right now. We all wish that we can have a virtual assistant that we don't pay for, or a receptionist that's just right there that, is kind of like our Siri, I suppose. But it's just...
She always gets it wrong. Siri always gets it wrong. I must be asking her the wrong questions. She's not a good assistant.
Maybe.
Sack Siri.
I'm like, nah, she gets it wrong.
No.
So really you've kind of had this passion for massage, you had this passion for anatomy, you had a passion for animals, all these sorts of things, and that has actually fed into your entrepreneurial spirit. So you've now, so from here you've seen the struggles, and you've kind of seen what you've faced as a sole trader or business owner in the massage field, and you've leveraged that and become Mystro Health. So tell me a little bit, Danielle, tell me a bit about sort of how that came with the two of you coming together to work on this project, and where did that kind of come about?
So I used to do, I studied photography. So that was I've always been really creative in that aspect. And I studied photography, I had my own business, but part of my course actually was in graphic design. So I kind of got a taster, absolutely loved it. I ended up going on to, I guess, teach myself more of the design stuff. I'm self-taught in everything that I do. So I didn't go on and do a course or anything. So that kind of led me into, we've known each other for coming up 8 years now. So when Sheree first was, venturing into massage and starting a business, I luckily had the want to, delve into websites and graphic design, the logos and business and all that type of marketing stuff. So luckily it was a good kind of sync, wasn't it? I dealt with the website side of things. I figured, just teach it myself as I went along. I did the logo, all our marketing material, and just kind of grew from there, really. And then did you mention that we used to have a massage business as well?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so with that massage business, I think I was there for that part of the conversation.
Maybe you were asleep, I'm not sure.
So obviously we'd had the massage business, so I then just continued to work on the side, and that was what my expertise was in, and that's what I focused on.
That's
and then
fantastic.
From there, it's just very natural that Sheree came up with the idea of Mystro, that we kind of went through the wireframe stages, the creating the logo, all that type of stuff. So I did that with the setting up the company as well.
That's awesome. I'm really it's really nice when you sort of can see that there's a really good synergy between, two kind of essentially creative people. Like massage is a creative industry in and of itself. And I think we really struggle to be able to connect with other creatives in a way that becomes meaningful. So, I mean, I'm really excited. And so the Mystro kind of platform was built out of your needs, Sheree, from a business perspective?
I guess what you could probably say is that I did mobile. So it was really, really hard to find something that catered for anything that wasn't on-premise space. So I found it really hard to try and adapt the way I ran my business with the software. So I did find one through trial and error, but even still, it wasn't the right way. and it didn't work the way I needed to, I just had to give up some of the ways that I ran my business. And that at the time was clickbook.net. And it allowed me to have some sort of mobile locations that I could, I guess, say where I operated from. However, I could still get, bookings outside of the area that I even service. So it was really hard to find something. So the necessity of Mystro initially came from the fact that if I was struggling, then I'm sure other people are struggling as well. And they're struggling because also there's a lot of industry health professionals that are mixed cross modality, that they specify in. So it might be massage. They might do also Pilates classes on the weekends, because they want to be able to give a fuller holistic or a healing approach to their customers or add more value. But there was also the point where there's a lot of software that just caters for just appointments or just classes or just workshops or however it is, and they don't actually allow you to mesh the two or all of them together so that you can actually become more of a whole health professional, and really utilizing all the skills. So at that point it's stunting your growth because the way you want to grow, there's nothing available for it. And so that's how the need kind of came about. And I thought, well, what we need to do is actually get something out there. There's a lot involved in that. So I'm not going to bore you with all those details of, months of planning and wireframing and companies and trying to find developers and all those sort of things, and the money that you lose. And then you learn from the mistakes and all that. So, but, long story short, we've got to a point where we're very close to becoming a minimum viable product, but at the same time we're still lacking a lot of those features that even myself would really love to have in an ideal software. So we're getting there slowly, but we're also at a point where we're trying to really recognize what are the pain points, challenges or problems that health professionals have in their business, and recognizing those so that we know that we're going down the right path and that we're actually solving these problems from all different aspects rather than just from a software point of view. So we're trying to find out the real heart, soul, emotion of what these problems are in a three-dimensional purpose rather than just a two-dimensional purpose that can give you a solution, but it doesn't really solve the underlying problem. So we're just really trying to find that out at this point in time. We've just brought on an investor into the company as well, which is a large Australian company who is very excited about the way that we're developing the software, but also about where we're thinking about heading in the future. So right now there's a lot involved in terms of figuring out those, like I said, the pain points and trying to narrow down the path of where we will actually be progressing to. So yeah, that's how we're actually progressing at the moment.
It sounds really exciting. Like, I mean, and you sound super pumped on it. Like I'm pumped for you. Like I can't even imagine having my business have an investor. Like that to me is like, whoa, that's crazy because it's that real validation on your on your product. You're like, yes, we're doing the right thing. Somebody believes in us.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when we've put so many years of, really hard work, long hours, and we still do to this day. I'm sure you can relate to that. But, the software industry is definitely not for the faint-hearted. So it's been an interesting ride, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just amazing that you're two young women. So this is not a very usual kind of you're not the usual software developers that you think of when you kind of have that in mind. So tell me, Sheree, you were a massage therapist prior to being a entrepreneurial software developer.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about what were your pain points in clinic? Like, what were the things that you really struggled with, and how did you overcome those?
Okay, so first point of call, I think for everyone starting out is how do you find customers? Pain point number one.
Yeah.
So I really had to figure out who my target customer was. And to be honest, to start off with, I basically just said, here I am, and I'm going to go to everyone. I knew who I could treat, but I was Gold Coast, and I would also be available in Brisbane. So I would travel an hour just to do one treatment to come back. But that's how I needed to start out.
Yeah.
Because I felt like the more area I covered, then the more people would come knocking on my door and my services, right? Because going out of, your schools, you don't get taught how to run a business. You do maybe a half a day, section in, if you're looking at running a business, you might want to think about being a sole trader or a partner in a partnership, but you don't get told or taught the fundamentals, or, where you go and get your logos done, or websites, or, how to even get customers at a core level anyway. So that was definitely pain point number one. Pain point number two came with, okay, now I need to find customers. I couldn't just go, hey, now I've got a website launch, hope they come flocking. I needed for them to find my website. So then I needed to spend the time to teach myself SEO, teach myself how to actually get myself out there. And like I said to you before, a lot of the technology wasn't available. I couldn't advertise my business on social media. Facebook was just becoming, a name around the world. It wasn't even, you can target a certain demographic in a location who has this interest. Hello. That would have been really helpful 7 years ago.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
So,
I need everyone who looks,
you really have to go
exactly
old
like
school.
this person. Yeah. So yeah, you have to kick it old school. So I mean, and obviously that's generally pretty guerrilla style. That's going out and just seeing as many people as you can, getting warm bodies on your table.
Yep.
And yeah, so are you still finding that the research that you're kind of doing, because I kind of know you're doing a little bit of like sneaky market research on people.
Yep.
Are you finding that that's still the same kind of problem? Like everyone's still kind of having that problem in the massage industry, like that they don't know where to find people, and they're just like, I'll take everyone. So yeah, and it's a struggle. Like that's a bit of a weird thing that even 7 years on, it's still the same problem. So
yeah, exactly. And it hasn't been addressed is the thing, because we go and become qualified in our chosen modality because we want to do that. We don't necessarily want to run a business and have to wear every single hat underneath the sun to run that business. We want to do what we love, and we want to do it 80% of the time and 20% on our business, so to speak. But more often than not, you spend 80% on your business, and only 20% of the time your energy can give to your customers. Maybe starting out, and then it starts evening out. However, you're still spending way too much time doing the things that we don't necessarily want to do. And yes, it can be fun when you're starting out, but it gets pretty mediocre after a while.
Yeah.
Especially if you were invoicing manually, if you're issuing health care claims, like
Still using pen and paper for your schedule.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at the end of that week, if you add up all those hours, that's a lot of time wasted, that I could have been sitting at home doing what I want to do, or I could have been out walking on the beach or doing things. So it's recognizing that there's still a lot of wasted time in a health professional's day from tasks that can just be already either solved through, invoicing for one. If you do offer health rebates, then figuring out the system that you can do that, whether it is through high caps or however it may be, or if the invoicing system that you do use allows you to, issue those things. So if, for instance, in Mystro, you can actually send through that receipt directly through to that health fund if you want to, so you add them as a third-party biller. So it's about going instantly, as soon as that invoice has been paid, how much time do you have to not waste on doing those mediocre tasks, generating an invoice, writing an invoice is time consuming as it is. So in the system, as soon as you create an appointment, then it allows you to generate an invoice of that, so the details and details, the service, the duration, if there's GST included or not included, because obviously every business is different. You can specify the payment requirements. So we've also gone into, if writing invoices is 2 hours out of your time every single week, then really now it's just turned into a 5-minute job, because all you need to do is press generate invoice and send it. So instantly becomes a time saver. So recognizing things like that is also, it becomes an educational thing to also get health professionals to understand all these things and the benefits of them.
Yeah.
Some may be reluctant because pen and paper is still very much the chosen form, but there's a lot of change happening in the industry, and whether you like it or not, the industry will change, and if you don't adapt, then you will get left behind. It's just like social media. If your business is not on social media, then it's not. I'm not saying that that's a guaranteed way to get leads, but it's definitely a guaranteed way to actually get your business out there, get exposure free, and engage with potential people that may become a customer. So there's a lot of pros, and if you don't get on board with that, then you're missing out, and all your competitors are actually in that space engaging with the people who want to make a booking for the services that you offer, but they don't know you exist. So
Danielle, I'm guessing that you do, because you're the graphic designer portion of the super duo. I've now just, you guys are just like a super team. Like you're like the Wonder Twins. I'm like waiting for you guys to like fist bump. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
What do you see massage therapists in particular? Like, what's the number one, or like let's go for maybe the number one, number two top mistakes they're making on social media? Like,
That's a good question, actually.
What's that big faux pas that they're making when they're like on Facebook and things like that? What's the worst thing you see?
I probably have to say it all comes down to branding. These days you've got to look professional, you've got to look good. So many massage therapists and a lot of other businesses in the health and wellness industry, they just haven't branded themselves. They haven't created a brand that really makes them stand out from their competitors as well. It's very easy for other people in the industry to say, go and create a logo and use, Vistaprint and create a logo. But at the end of the day, it looks dodgy and it doesn't do anything for your brand. So putting the money, I guess, into getting yourself set up and making your brand look real good is really important. And I think a lot of people do lack doing that in that area. So obviously when you're on social media, you go to someone's a business's Facebook page, you see their cover photo, you see their profile photo, generally has their logo in it, some branding, and they've chosen the wrong colors, because that's not their expertise. They've just kind of done it all, put it all together themselves, even down to the images that you share. Sharing really blurry images, your news feed will look so much better if you're sharing really professional quality images, which actually will bring us into the healthonomics side of things when we talk about that a bit later.
No, talk about it now. Tell me all about Healthonomics, because I've seen you guys on social, and I've been kind of watching what you've been doing, and I think it's really amazing because what you're doing is you're making the content approachable for therapists.
Yeah.
And so tell me, like, where did Healthonomics come from? Like, how did that come about? Like, I'm guessing that came out of part of the Mystro stuff where you guys were kind of looking for ways to assist therapists more. So tell me a bit more about that. Or have I lost you? Oh, no, you're back.
No, you're there.
Hey, the internet. Oh. Awesome. So did you hear my question, or do you want me to repeat?
So
making the content
approachable.
Yeah. So tell me about how that came about. Where did that all sort of come from?
Well, obviously based off of what I kind of just said then, it's something that we were starting to see a lot more, plus the fact that health professionals, they want to focus on what they do best. They don't want to sit in front of their computer. They don't have the skills to sit there and design this beautiful image that it could take an hour to design one image, and then you post it, and then bye-bye, it's hidden in your feed. So you want to get that engagement, but you don't have the time to spend into doing that. And also the skills too. There are great programs out there like Canva that allow you to, just the everyday novice, you can go on there, create an account and start, designing some really cool images. But it really does come down to a time factor. And a lot of health and wellness professionals, they're time poor. So we pretty much saw this need and thought, well, why don't we create this one-stop shop where health and wellness professionals come to, and there's just ready-made social media content. All you have to do is so we basically bundle images together into packages. So let's say if you purchase one of our packages of 20 images, that could be one a day, it could be twice a day. So you could purchase as many bundles as you want. You download all the images, and then when you're ready to create a post, you just go to Facebook or Twitter, you upload your image, you add a bit of a text that kind of provokes engagement, maybe ask a question, and you're done. So it's gone from something that could generally take someone that doesn't have the skills, that doesn't have the time, an hour to do, to literally 10 seconds. So we also then, I guess, explain, we have like video tutorials and stuff that tells people to go to the next step and actually schedule all of their content in advance using a certain platform called Buffer. So that saves you even more time as well, which is really great for you. And we've had so much, awesome response since we've actually launched Healthinomics. And people are just loving it all over the world. They're just kind of coming, they're buying, sometimes people are buying five bundles in one go and thinking, great, I've got my entire year's worth of content, and then they subscribe and then they purchase another bundle because what we do is every week we basically, that's right. So every week we basically have a new bundle that we've created, and we'll send that out we'll send an email blast out to all of our subscribers, and we give it to them for 50% off for the entire week. So they've got a week to get that for half price. If you were to just come to the site and we don't have the discount on, then you just pay it at full price. But we've really priced it so it's really affordable. It's kind of like, it's a no-brainer. Why would I go and spend X amount of hours of my time designing all of this content when for $20, $30, $40 it's all right here?
You'd spend more time, and you probably wouldn't be able to get the same amount of money or investment back by doing it yourself. So that's the whole idea. And another thing that we've also are encouraging is that even them people who have brought our bundles go that next step further and actually add their branding to it as well. So they're going to add their logo and their website as if it's their own image. So, it's adding that extra, so when, somebody shares or likes in their newsfeed, then those people who are sharing it to and liking it, it starts creating that brand awareness. So that brand awareness then becomes, oh, I see you in my newsfeed all the time. Oh, what do you do again? Or it creates that whole, oh, I'm intrigued, I'm going to go to their Facebook page. So the whole idea is the engagement. It's getting people talking. It's building that relationship. Looking professional. It's then getting clicks onto your Facebook page. It's then getting somebody to click on the link that directs them to your website. And that's the process, because let's just say in 1 year you didn't do anything on social media and you did the previous year. Imagine how much your referral traffic would actually go down. I guarantee it would probably go down by 70 to 80%, because that is the power of social media. If you are doing it all the time, and this is what I'm saying, it's, all the time, maybe just once a day.
It's actually surprised us since we kind of got out there with this whole social media stuff and really shared what we know about it, and speaking to people in this industry that their response is, I don't do social media. It's like, sorry, it's not an option. You have to, it's not about going, we all understand everyone's daughter and cousin and wife and everything, that especially the younger generation, they're on social media, they're on there for fun. And I think the older generation as well, they see that and think, oh no, I don't need that in my life, so they don't actually put the, piece the puzzles together to go, well, if my business is on social media, that just opens myself up to so many more people that can find me. They're stupid not to be on social media. So,
but we also, it's not about speaking about your business, right? That we talk about the rule of thirds. So we actually have recently done up a social media Kickstarter freebie. So which basically it's a half an hour video plus a whole bunch of freebies that go in there about how to really kind of get your social media kick-started, and give you some guides on how to actually encounter it. So if you're a new business, or if you've never done social media before, from theming a month, and then going into the types of content you're going to promote. So the rule of thirds is basically, not promoting your business all the time. So 1/3 of the time you're promoting your business. Another third of the time you're actually sharing relevant content to your customers that they want to engage with. And then the other time it might be something to do with community. So there's and having a mixture of different types of mediums, such as, videos or images. Don't, it's fact. Images and videos is also growing, get far more engagement than just, a plain text. Gone are the days where we just put a status update about how we're going. People don't want to hear about that. They want to see something vibrant and bright in their newsfeed, because that's what stops us. Exactly.
And that's another thing that we do with our images. We put a lot of time and a lot of research into actually figuring out how can we make this image really engaging. There's thought-provoking questions. There's educating your customers on different health awareness days that go on throughout the year, or different international world days that people don't even realize about. And then we include a did you know fact on them. So it actually starts provoking conversation, and it gets the conversation going on Facebook, because at the end of the day, you need people to comment, you need people to like, you need people to share, because then they share it with their friends and they share it with their family, and that opens up again. There's more people that actually find you on Facebook. You might get some likes out of it on your business profile, and then they go to your website, and then you can get a lead out of it. So people don't understand the power of social media, and the content that you actually post on social media goes towards that so much. It's so important. And that's why I think Healthinomics is kind of taking off. And I think we're educating the people that don't understand the importance of social media, and showing them why it's so important, but then also kind of holding their hand and walking them through the process, and then going, hey, and here you go, we've done it for you. All you have to do is, post it.
Really, I mean, like, you could spend $150 of your own cash, which is an investment in your business and also a tax write-off, and go and get what would be one of your 1/3 of, if we're following the rule of thirds, of all the content that you need for 1 year. I mean, we have one of our bundles actually is our mega bundle, which we call it, and that's jam-packed full of 150 something images. And that really, if you brought that, which is just $49 Australian, or €49 if you're in the UK, so on and so forth, depending on what base currency you have, and that would do you for the entire year. So can you imagine investing just that small amount? And plus you'd probably get some other relevant, if you're a massage therapist, you might want to get some massage content specifically, that for less than $100 or $150 you could have all your content already done, that you can have planned in the scheduling app called Buffer for the entire year. You spend 1 day doing that, and you don't have to do it for the rest of the year, apart from doing live updates or things that are going on in your practice, and figuring out what your promotions are for the coming months, like whether Father's Day is a promotion or things like that. So, it's such a time saver, and that's what we're so dedicated in also achieving, is just getting back those minutes for health professionals, so that they can do the things that they love, treating customers, and also not getting to that burnt out stage where they're just unhappy because their business isn't growing, it's not surviving, they're constantly trying to find new leads, they're wearing multiple different hats, and 5 years goes by and they go, oh, this is just too hard. It's just not, I love it, but I just can't do it anymore, whatever it might be.
Well, and I guess that's the thing, is I don't know that a lot of particularly therapists understand that social media is about that conversation and having that that back and forward with your clients. And I think they go, oh, I'm spending this money, but I'm not getting this direct money back. You're like, no, you've missed the point. And I think that education process is really important. And so I'm really interested in, will you, I'm hoping that what you'll do is provide me with a great link to your rule of thirds videos, so I can pop that into the show notes, so our listeners can actually go to the show notes on rubbedtherightway.com and check that out, so we can actually pop a link into the show notes for them. But yeah, it sounds like you guys have really got this whole thing sussed. So Sheree, do you actually even do any massages anymore?
I do. I actually did one before this podcast this evening. But it's cool because, I've got to a point with a lot of my customers now where they're all friends, and they're all like, oh, that's part of our, can you hear that?
I can hear that.
Sorry, Danielle was playing the video in the background. So getting to the point where a lot of my customers now are actually, I'm almost part of their furniture, so it's very comfortable, and I don't necessarily have to feel like I'm selling myself anymore. So which is really cool. It's a really cool stage to get at. And I know that it doesn't feel like work. it just feels like I'm catching up with friends. And that's a really beautiful stage to be in. But a lot of our time also does take up with running Mystro and Healthinomics. So with that, I do it more of on a part-time basis, and still enjoy it, because I actually enjoy it more now that I've built those stronger connections and relationships with them, and being able to retain those customers for all the years that I've been massaging. So I feel like I've got it to a good space.
That's fantastic. I'm really excited to kind of see what happens with you guys in the future. I think you guys have a really bright future ahead of you, and I'm so excited to see what happens and support you through into this new year, and like support Healthinomics. I'm like super pumped on it. So I want to just my kind of a final question. This is one I've been asking all the massage therapists. So this is more for Sheree. I'm sorry, Danielle, but this is more for Sheree.
No hard feelings.
Well, you can answer
She
as well,
does give a
because
good massage though.
she does give a good
I
massage.
do give a good massage.
I've trained her well.
That's
Someone
good.
needs to give me massages.
Well, that maybe answers my question. So out of all of the amazing therapists that we know that are out there, all of the big names that, come and tour and do all the things, is there one person who you would love to get a massage from?
Ooh, it is a tough question, because I do feel like there's so many different aspects from getting a massage. There's also a connection there. Like you need, I don't know, when you kind of have that familiarity, when you don't know somebody and you kind of come to them for the first time, I guess you're always questioning, do they know what I want? Do they know where all my sore spots are? Because I know where they are, but do they?
Do they know?
So, so getting a massage from somebody.
I think Danielle just wants a massage generally.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. You know what, actually, having said that, I'm not sure if I would choose someone that is more so already existing in the industry. And I say this with a little bit of encouragement, right? In the sense that I actually found, and I have find that in some of these massage schools that are bringing through a lot of these students now, when you go into a student clinic, they're really like, their passion, exudes into that massage, because they really want to know how it is that they can better themselves. So I really feel like maybe if I went into a school and I said, who is your best massage therapist that is going to give an awesome massage, I really feel like if I was to get a massage next, I would probably go and do that and try and start supporting some of our up and comers in the industry, so that I can pass on some of my knowledge and maybe enlighten their day just a little bit, as well as them touching my body, of course.
So what you're saying is you want to have a massage with somebody who doesn't know they want a massage yet.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, probably.
Awesome.
And I'd of course choose Sheree, because she just gives the most amazing massages. So I think I could get hit if I didn't say that.
I'll pay you later.
Yeah, I was going to say that's okay. I can see you guys exchanging the cash under the table there. It's all good.
Yeah.
The big wink. Well, thank you so much, guys, for coming on the show tonight. I know it's late, and I'm really pumped that we could have sort of scheduled this kind of last minute hectic kind of podcast, and I'm super pumped to have you on here. It's been amazing, and I wish you guys all the best in the future. And so can you just give us a little shout about where we can find you on the social medias? What's your best, where can we find you on Facebook? Where can we find you on the Twitters? Where can we find you on Instagram? Give us all the rundown, and we will pop all of that in the show notes so everyone can find you guys on the internet.
Cool.
So
it's pretty easy. So our, I guess, username or Twitter handler is just We Are Mystro.
Yep.
Mystro. And then Healthinomics for Healthinomics. So in terms of our website, www.mystro.co and www.healthinomics.com.
Perfect. Awesome, guys.
But we can also send you through some other little info if you want to just have all of them, so you can just jot them down.
That would be
so that people got correct spelling, all those types of things. So,
excellent. Well, thank you so much, guys, and we'll wrap it up here. Thanks.
Excellent.
You're most welcome. It was great to speak to you.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks. And we'll definitely be a supporter of getting rubbed up the wrong way, that's for sure.
Hi, listeners. Thanks for tuning in and listening to the Rub the Wrong Way podcast. Danielle and Sheree have really generously provided all of our listeners with a massive 50% discount when you purchase any of their social media content bundles on Healthinomics, with the exception of their social media mega bundle, which is already amazing value. So go to healthinomics.com, enter the code rubbed the wrong way, spelled RUBBEDTHEWRONGWAY, all in caps at the checkout page, and you'll get a 50% discount off any of the purchases that you make on healthinomics.com. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Thanks for listening to Rub the Wrong Way. We'd love to connect with you at our website, www.rubtherightway.com, where you can download your free copy of The Hustle Method, 6 Steps to a Kick-Ass Massage Biz, or on Facebook, Rub the Wrong Way Podcast, or on Twitter @RubbedWrong.
This is a We Are Podcast show. We Are Podcast is Australia's premium gathering of current and future podcasters. If you aren't a member yet, you should go and check us out at wearepodcast.com and click on the Members Live Here button right in the center of the page. Included in your membership are monthly accountability sessions with me, that's a tongue twister, monthly State of the Union podcasting webinars, as well as free podcast hosting for the rest of your membership life with Audioboom. We not only cover everything podcasting, but we also cover every other aspect of online business around your podcast. So if you want to make money and grow your influence using a podcast, get your first month for only $19 using the promo code IAMPodcast at checkout. Also, for peace of mind, you can leave whenever you like in case you've had enough of us. So go in and check it out. wearepodcast.com and click on the Members Live Here button.